I got winners on the way. You know you can't knock the hustle. And if you gotta get in place, then we gon' put your business on display. Grab a seat with Neesha for a minute. And if you got the goods, we can talk about your business. She know what it's like to make a move independently. And I don't fake us like that. We've been trusting God like that. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, we gon' put your business on display.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Happy Wednesday, Neesha's Network. Welcome to another Wednesday. I hope you guys enjoyed last week with my daughter, Kristen, as she talked about steps to healing. It was really powerful, you guys. And so before I bring my guest on today, I just wanted to give you all a few announcements. A lot of you all have not subscribed to neeshasnetwork.com. Please subscribe to neeshasnetwork.com. So many of you all will not be disappointed. If you join this community, you guys, it's only $15 a month for the subscription. Super excited about it. Was nervous about it at first, but guess what? I'm not nervous anymore. Anyway, with that being said, you get a weekly newsletter, and I wanted to make sure you all knew that this week, Saturday, if you're in the Chicagoland area, August the 21st, Destiny Dance Company's annual recital is back in business. You will be able to experience over 50 students and what they have learned from modern ballet to jazz to hip hop to praise dance. Over 50 students, my three women, Kristen, Danielle, and Nia, and their staff have taken 12 weeks of intensive dance from the ages of 2 all the way to 18. And the recital is this week, and it's called Through the Fire. You guys don't want to miss the showcase, okay? Through the Fire 2021 showcase. We've been through the fire of 2020. We're coming out as pure gold. So you all want to get excited about that. The second thing is, I don't talk much about Heart Life, our nonprofit ministry, outreach ministry, but we're having a fishing trip. And a lot of you all, like, you see my nails, you know I'm a hairstylist, you know I'm into beautification, but y'all don't know I love to fish. I love going fishing. So fishes of men and real fish that's in the sea. So anyway, September 4th, we're doing a family fishing trip, you guys, in the Indiana area. So reach out to me, inbox me, DM me, and sign up to Neesha's Network. All right, enough of the announcements today. So I am here again introducing someone who definitely God sent in my life on purpose. We have not had an opportunity to really connect in person, but we have been virtual and over the phone. We've prayed together. We've encouraged one another. We've checked in with one another. And I love God connection. So without further ado, I want to introduce to you guys, Mrs. Tanya Simmons Reed. Come on, Tanya. Hey, girl.
Hola. Hello. Bonjour.
So welcome. We met on Clubhouse, you guys, and we had an immediate connection. It was like bam. And one reason, and I can't remember, Tanya, why this was, but we talked about Dudley products. I don't remember why we talked about Dudley. That is left me because we've talked about so many other things beyond there. But tell us a little bit about yourself, who you're married to, where you live currently, and what's going on with you. You have children, etc. Tell us a little bit
all the details.
all the fun stuff.
So yes, Tanya Simmons Reed. I live in Voorhees, New Jersey, which is South Jersey, right next to Philadelphia, actually closer to Philly than New York. And I am married. My husband is the wonderful Dwayne Hudson Reed. We will be married 23 years in December. And we are a blended family. When we got married, I had a daughter who became his daughter, Cameron, who was our first child together. And then we had 3 children together. So mother of 4, 2 boys and 2 girls. And I'm finished, I promise. So
if God says the same, right?
And if you count my husband, that's 5.
Okay.
So, but yeah, so just, taking everything day by day, just moving forward, making sure every day there's progress. And, some days though, we owe it to ourselves to just breathe. So try to do that. I tend to be a workaholic, so I'm working on that every day.
Okay.
It's a process.
Well, for all of us, we're learning, right? So tell me, why do we talk about Dudley? Can you tell me why we talk about Dudley?
Because I was in the audience and you mentioned being a salon owner in Chicago. And I was like, Chicago, salon owner, she probably knows Dudley's. And you mentioned, I think, how many years you'd been in the industry. And so, I served as their marketing and communications director. Actually started as an intern with them when I was in college at North Carolina A&T State University. Aggie Pride, to any Aggies watching. And so Dudley's was headquartered in Greensboro. And so met Joe Dudley Jr., who brought me on as an intern, and just they're part of our family as well. So been back and forth with them throughout the years, even worked last time with Ursula Dudley Oglesby, who took over the brand and as their marketing and communications director. So still work with Joe to this day. And
Wow.
Ursula and I are good friends. Love the family, Miss Dudley, Mr. Dudley, Jania, everybody. So
wow. So my distributor, and I have met Mr. Dudley and company at many of the hair shows. But one of the things, Mr. Melvin, I can't remember.
Yes, Robert Melvin.
Mr.
Absolutely.
Melvin, he was
the other day.
You've talked to him?
He was on a Zoom. They do a Zoom every Sunday, which I have to tell you about for entrepreneurship.
Yes,
and called the Dudley Eagles. Yes.
Okay. Well, I would love to connect.
He was on there with Mr. Dudley. Robert Melvin.
Mr. Robert Melvin, and he was my distributor. He was so gracious for so many years. Well, anyway, enough about now. Thank you for refreshing my memory. I do remember.
Yes, you have Betty Clausen there. I have to give her a shout.
Yes,
she's in
Miss
Chicago
Betty
with
Clausen
you
over
at
there
the Dudley Cosmetology University.
Yes,
in the school.
87th Street.
Okay.
In the city, yes, I know, and we know several graduates who have graduated from Dudley as well. So anyway, and taking extracurricular
Okay.
CEU hours is what I'm
okay, right. Continued education.
Continued education. All right, so enough about hair and the industry of cosmetology. But in that, you have launched a business called Skyrocket Communications, and I just want you to tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. And, what better way than to talk about Dudley's, because they really made a lot, of who I am. They're a part of who I am, how I think, just a lot of what I learned there is ingrained in me. But formed Skyrocket Communications in 2018. I actually was working with ministry in the faith-based arena, and just, throughout the years, just wanted to be able to, people would come and ask me, would I help with this or help with that? And then you're like, wow, I'm getting a lot of requests. I just need to do this and have the time, because I love serving people and helping businesses grow and launch and really impact communities. And I love the difference. Like, some projects they're all different, and I love that. And so that's just, I just stepped out. I had actually had a company before called Reed Creative Communications, and closed that when I moved back to North Carolina to work at Dudley's. And then my husband went to divinity school, finished that, took a position in Cherry Hill, New Jersey while we moved back here. And I went along with him. And so we left that ministry, and I was like, God just kept putting on my heart, you have everything you need to succeed. Just go do it. And I wanted to do it correctly, lawyer, business entity, accountant. I wanted to do it right. So that's how we're here. I was watching the movie where Taraji Henson played, she was in NASA, working with NASA, and she was talking about rockets, and that was a confirmation, and that God had already given me with the name. So that's how Skyrocket came.
Okay. So I want to say that I am really excited about
hidden figures.
I'm really excited about the name Skyrocket, because even when we talked, there's something like that, that's kind of how I feel when God makes connections with me, with other people that have like mindsets. It's almost like a skyrocket goes up, and I'm like so fired up and ready to just go. And really examining and finding out the purpose in the relationship is so huge. And so with that being said, I want to ask you some questions about the business. But before I do, I'm going to veer off a little bit, because Tanya also has I'm going to call it a ministry / business called Sound Mind. And she held a health conference and a mental health conference. And I want you to tell us a little bit about that. And the reason that is so key was because during the time we talked about your Sound Mind Health Conference, mental health conference, was right at the time where our ministry had kind of launched our recovery program. And it was so fitting because one of the things that we are helping people walk through is the mental health recovery. And so, and being that resource. So tell us a little bit about that.
Sound Minds was just a leap of faith and obedience. In 2018, which is interesting because as we talk about when I launched Skyrocket, that's also the year that my son went through some things the following year, 2019, in March. And so we were on a journey we had never been on. Like, I didn't know what to do, where to go. I went to my son's pediatrician. He told me to take my son to a crisis center, took him to a crisis center. They told me to take him home and just help him go to sleep and he would be better. And it wasn't happening that way. And so we ended up having to go to a hospital. He was admitted. He was in there for a while. It was just we didn't know what to do. You're at the table with these doctors. They're saying things, but God had a ram in the bush every which way. And so I realized a good friend of mine, I didn't know her sister was a nurse, a psychotherapist nurse in Atlanta. And she was on the phone with us every conversation with the doctors. We conferenced her in. She knew what to ask them. She knew, okay, is it this level of medication? Why don't you start with this level and work your way up? And I was just like, and it was times when my son is in these episodes that I'm his enemy. I'm his trigger. He will not talk to me. I have to distance myself. And it hurts because I want to help, but my husband has to carry it all. He starts to feel the pressure. And I was like, God, why are you doing this to us? What am I supposed to get out of this? I believe we go through everything for a reason, a season, for a lesson, or for life. And I knew that he had me going through this for something. And he put on my heart, Sound Minds, you have to help other people understand the process and help them because they don't know, just like you don't know. Right. I didn't know about a healthcare proxy. A lady who was a client who works in the mental health arena, she talked to me and she said, I was on the phone with her and I was like, look, I just have to be naked. I got to get transparent and let you know what's going on. And I let her know. And my son was in the middle going through a state and we needed help. They weren't going to put him in a hospital or get care unless he was ready to kill himself or kill somebody else or hurt somebody else. And he wasn't ever that way, but he needed help. Yeah. But I was a trigger. And she said, you go in there, you trigger him while the doctor's on the phone. Cause this was COVID. So everything's virtual. So I went in there with my husband and my son was like, what are you doing in here? I said, tell him. And he went into his episode. The doctor saw it. And that's how we were able to get him the help.
Wow.
It is just interesting because we have to be advocates for ourselves and also know how to be empathetic because sometimes you get frustrated when people are in their quote unquote moments or going through their episodes and you want to be like, what's wrong with you? You can't say that, and I was able to pull a team together because I'm not the expert. I'm just the advocate. And so I wanted to pull a team of people who have a heart to help. And so I just started meeting people, finding people, searching. Clubhouse. I had some speakers from Clubhouse. I had speakers from people who referred. And then I had a lot of people that were on there were also people who were a part of our journey that I wanted to come on and give them a chance to share their heart because they helped us because they have a passion for it. So let me have this platform and would you be on the panel and would you talk and would you share? And it just came together. I'm telling you, the week of it, my son was in an episode and he talked to me for like it had been a month and he talked to me the day before. And, it was just like, it was hard. And it's a journey. Every day is hard. But one of our speakers, Rosalind Daniel, who did the Struggle is Real caregiving session, she said, you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable when you're caregiving for someone with a mental health challenge or illness, because imagine how they're feeling and how frustrated they are.
Yeah.
So that's I know I could go on and on about Sound
Let me just
Minds,
tell
but
you that I think it's very interesting that Skyrocket Communications is your profit and Sound Minds is your nonprofit. And I was thinking
it's
about
coming together. Yeah.
they go together because they're all
I did-
about communications and learning how to communicate and learning how to be the responder and the giver, the receiver, the responder
Right.
and the receiver. So, it made me think about this, and we're talking about marketing and communications, which is, one of your passions. But when for your questions, when I asked you what makes you passionate about what you do, you said it's your anointing, it's your gift, it's your DNA, it's how you're wired. And when you believe a project, goal, initiative, and that foundation of the effort is to provide a service product that will help others change lives for the better, you jump all in. From concept to creation to execution gets me excited and fired up. And I love that you said that, because even while you're talking about your own personal journey, you can hear the passion behind it. You can hear and I believe God gives you an anointing for the storm that you have so that he can show you that you will overcome it. So tell us a little bit about how that passion comes to life inside of you, in terms of, like, I know this is my gift, I know this is my DNA, I know it's hard, but how do you see those two worlds colliding just in the communication? And I'm putting you on the spot with that question because I hear it. So I'm really excited about it.
So you mean as far as the communication working with clients or just in general?
In general.
So, I mean, I always believe that the communication is the important part. We spend a lot of money on marketing and the message says nothing, right? So we think about it with the Super Bowl. I always use this analogy because we watch Super Bowl. Some people just watch it for the commercials, but then, these brands, these companies pay millions of dollars for these commercials. And then sometimes, I was actually in a conversation with a friend because I didn't get to watch this year. And they were like, I was like, what was your favorite commercial? Oh, it was this good one. Such and such happened. And then they jumped over. It was like an animal and such and such. And I was like, well, what was it for? What was it promoting? And they were like, I don't know. It was good though. No, it wasn't, because the message was missing. And that's my passion, is what's the message? How do you want to move people from one place to another? And it's important. And I get passion out of that. I can get a little, I guess OCD in that area, but I just think that we have to we can't run our businesses or run our goals and initiatives or things that we're trying to do, whether it's for profit or nonprofit, based on what we like and what we feel. The vision comes from what we know we have to do, but how is the person, our potential client or customer, going to receive it? Do they, some people pick colors because it's their favorite color. No, there's strategy in color selection. There are things that all these communication primarily is nonverbal, right? So we have to look at everything, and what is the totality of the impact, and are we going to get the results that we want through our communication?
So it's interesting you say that. So I'm gonna ask you a question. So I have Neesha's network, and I'm gonna just use myself as an example. I have Neesha's network, and literally I am just it's been identified through I'm gonna say others that I've met, because you can hear so many voices, especially since I joined Clubhouse, that you're not a networker, you're a connector. But I know God told me to name this Neesha's network, so I'm just there and I'm letting it go. And I do know that I make massive connections, as I was sharing with you earlier. But I know so many people with the businesses, and I know that I could connect people. But how can people identify, exactly where to go? Because if you have this over here, so I'm gonna speak to the branding, the strategies. I'm gonna speak to the launching. I'm gonna speak to the making sure your message is clear. All these things. How do you know which steps to follow first? Because everybody can give you their own formula. Because there's so many businesses out here that are saying, I'm a strategist, or I am a marketing communication expert. But how do you know how to launch into what to do first?
So I think the biggest part is that marketing strategy, which includes branding. Some people see branding as separate, or, your brand strategy, but branding is a part of marketing. And so I think that it's really writing that vision down that you want to accomplish. And then that's the roadmap, right? So before you launch the business, the branding has to be done, right? The logo, the look, the heart. Who are we trying to reach? There's studies, do we want our logo to be, now it's very about being minimalistic. You don't need a lot. Do you want to be more, some companies want to be more, or business organizations, I should say, faith-based, are more churchy. Do you want to be more relevant, more radical? So looking at all of those in your heart and what God has put in your heart and what you want to accomplish with your business, not maybe what other people think. Because sometimes, I always say that, like, I went to school for broadcast news, started working with Dudley's in PR, marketing, and it became a part of me. And I was like, wow, that's why I went to communications, because it does go into marketing. It's critical with marketing because sometimes, like I said, you're not even communicating what you want and you miss the mark, right? You miss the mark in marketing. I like that. I just thought about
that. Go ahead and tag that. Tanya Reed, Simmons Reed. You missed the mark in marketing.
Marketing, right? That's good. So right here on Neesha's network. No.
Right. Don't steal it either.
Right. So, it's important that there is a strategy, but sometimes you just jump though. And it's okay. We call it, we are preparing the plane, fixing the plane while we're flying, right? And that's okay sometimes. I think that, it's up to you. I love network. I think networking is connecting. So that's just my 2 cents on that. I think that, everybody uses connecting. Networking is important. People look to network. So I think that I love it, Neesha's network. I don't know if I helped you at all, but I just think it's really having that strategy, and I don't mean it has to be like a 100-page document. You could write a strategy on one sheet of paper. But just knowing, okay, this is phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and also having a team. Team is not necessarily employees. Let me say that, but people who believe in you, who are going to support you and add value and experience and expertise to your mission, to your journey.
So I appreciate you saying that, and my mind is going 100 miles a minute, because now the question I want to ask you about is, so I've been instrumental in watching during the pandemic, so many businesses launch, so many life coaches coming along, so many certified, not just I'm a life coach. So many big people that have launched their businesses, that Bitcoin and trading has become a big entity, and all these people launching all these things. So I get tons of inboxes from people wanting to, use me to advertise or whatever. And not to say that I have all the keys, because I don't think my key is to say I can help you grow, but I can expand you to meet people to help you grow. So with that, with the marketing, what do you think people should do to grow their business? Because should they hire someone, and most people are using social media as the platform for growth and expansion. What do you recommend for people to do besides hiring a marketing person to actually grow? Because so many people are like, Neesha, I'm just stuck. I need to do this. So you spend so much time spinning your wheels trying to make posts or trying to do this or trying to do that. What do you think is the ideal strategy to really help market something new and fresh?
So first of all, there is no ideal strategy. You would have to tell me, is this type of business, this is who they're trying to reach, this is the product and service they're offering. And then I could help you better, because I believe that it has to be customized, and there is no one size fits all. And so I think it's important. If anyone tells you that it is, I would love to have a conversation, so we could see the two sides. But I definitely don't believe that there's a one size fits all. I think that, it depends on the business. If some businesses that started are e-commerce driven, right? So they're perfect, click the button, get it. It's also, some are focused on a certain geographic area rather than being, I definitely recommend, especially with e-commerce, that you start small. So many times we see big, like, this is for everyone. I want everyone to order it, or I want everyone to get this service, or everyone to have this product. And that's the one thing I do say, that you have to scale that back and start with a focus. Be focused. It will build from there, but you can't, and you'll get some people on the outside of that core, that circle, you know, but you have to focus and build where you are, and don't despise small beginnings. It's okay to start small and share your story. You know, I talked about this on a interview recently, a training, is that, you know, people championed David before Goliath. It's okay. You know, they didn't champion Goliath. It's okay to be small. And people love that, especially if you look at like millennials and stuff. They love more organic. They love, you know, that you're authentic, that you are starting. Like, people respect small businesses, and it's okay to say that. Sometimes we just try to be like the Wizard of Oz, where, you know, we're this big, and then we pull the curtain back and it's this little person. And it's okay to be that little person, and to be authentic and tell your story. Tell your story. Whoever you are, wherever you are, your story is critical, because there are a lot of options out there. So what's going to make you different, and what's going to make me want to support what you're doing? You know, are you sustainable? Do you give back? What are you doing in the community? You know, share those stories. They are so important.
Wow. That's a Selah moment right there, because I'm thinking about so many people do have stories, but you take your time spinning your wheels trying to become relevant or known, that you miss the person of who I am. The reason I say that is because my daughter said this to me. I told her, it's so funny. Now, y'all don't laugh at this and don't run away. But I was telling my daughter, Kristen, I was like, girl, you get so many views when you stand in for me. I said, maybe you need to take over. And she was like, Mom, people want to hear your story. You can talk to people sometime too. But I love putting other people's business out there. I love what I do. I won't stop. I will remain consistent. That's one thing I've overcome, the fear of remaining consistent.
Yes.
I was thinking about this though, with the marketing piece, is that people spend so much money hiring out people to help them to grow, and that there's a deficit in other areas. Okay. So like, especially for new businesses and people that really want to become, you know, relevant. So I'm thinking about, what do you say is average? And I know it depends upon the business, but just in terms of a startup financial, like some people invest thousands of dollars because they have a plan A, which is their 9 to 5, and then they launch that. Or sometimes people don't have anything and they're just launching and jumping in the water without any type of revenue. How much is a good start up to say, you know what, I'm investing, this is what I need to really invest in that beginning stage of my business?
So again, that one's hard to answer.
Because
it just depends. Because number one, if they're a product company, before they even get into marketing, they need to get inventory or have a plan for inventory. Because, you know, if you create demand and can't fill it, it's not good. You're in for trouble. And because, you know, that's what I always say, when you're ready to create demand, that's when you start the marketing, because you're ready, you're able to fill it, you know, because when the orders start coming in, do you have the plan? Are you able to ship? Do you have shipping codes? Do you even know your shipping prices? Do you have good product photos? You know, but the back end side of that is that inventory. So then you have platforms, you know, for e-commerce, you have platforms like Shopify, different platforms that are monthly, which helps people because they can pay monthly opposed to annually. You know, there's certain things, your domain name, you know, having a website is critical. Don't spend thousands and thousands of dollars for a website. It's okay to have a website that can be a customized template. No one's gonna, you know, these organizations and companies that get custom websites built for them, those are like, I would say $10,000, $20,000 sites. You know, it's okay. I don't recommend, you know, that people, so when you first impressions are lasting impressions. So get it done right though, you know, have someone proof it for you. Things like that, because you have to know your audience. And if you're going after a professional audience, it's the law of the lid, John Maxwell, law of the lid. You know, people want to receive from people that are at their level or higher. And so if you're doing a luxury brand, you're going to have, based off your the price, you know, social media marketing. You can do ad clicks, you know, pay per clicks, but your website is going to be critical with that. If you're opening up a restaurant or something, the community, PR is always a plus. If you're doing something good and making a difference, you know, there are opportunities for free publicity, which will be able to drive people to your business as well. Again, sharing your story, you know.
So
Why
that's
did you
why
start
we
it? What are
need
you
to
doing?
hire you, huh? That's why you would hire Skyrocket Communications, because you need to have understanding, and you can't get it here in 30 minutes, you guys. Because I know that one of the things that the challenges that may come awry is I'm a supporter of everybody. I'm gonna come to yours, I'm gonna come to yours, I'm gonna come to yours. But then who comes to mine?
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of feel like we say this, you know how you have your own small community. So I've always prayed, which Clubhouse opened this door for me. Not many people that I've met on Clubhouse have subscribed to Neesha's network,
Mm-hmm.
but the doors of opportunity that I've met people has my expansion has gone beyond just my family circle. You know,
Right,
that inner circle, that warm fuzzy market that everybody loves Neesha, what she does.
right.
Oh, I know she does, I'll support it. But getting you the message that says this is why what she does is important is what I've been working on a whole
Well,
a little
I already
time.
thought about it, so
Okay,
I
good.
would, I would love to. Yeah, we just need to have a conversation. Just,
Okay.
you know, for my love for you, I do have because it's interesting, and that's why I love Guy. He's amazing because,
He
you know,
is.
I don't take on every client. I don't take on every project. I'm very mission driven. The money, I believe, will come when I stay true, and like you talk about being consistent, and you know, so that's. But you know, when I was talking to you and you asked me to look at your website and stuff, and you know, God gave me some ideas. You know, just stuff starts coming, and I always give God the credit. I believe, you know, nothing is done in my own strength, and so because sometimes, you know, we have a lot we're carrying, and I know it's not in my own strength. So,
Yeah.
but I definitely have just a couple ideas I'd love to share
Okay, well,
offline.
I know our connection is not, you know, God put some people as posts in your life just to help you with the building. God puts people pillars in your life. And the
Mm,
pillars are there for the duration. And I
I
believe that
love
this
that.
is a duration relationship. Super excited. And nobody say anything funny about me saying that, but I just know. You know how you just know? I just know.
I love that. Post and
I know.
pillars.
So anyway, well, I want to talk about the things you're most proud of.
Um, I mean, most proud of is being able to serve nonprofits. You know, there are some being able to give back. You know, being able to work with some phenomenal nonprofit organizations like the Senior Law Center, which helps older Philadelphians, Pennsylvanians, excuse me, because I didn't realize all the elder abuse. You know, even their own family members taking them. Taking their finances, right, and leaving them
Yeah.
without. And just the work that they do in the community is phenomenal. I've been able to I serve and work. These are some of clients. Some I also, and even clients, I'll always add volunteer time in too, because I just believe in what they're doing. And so Praise is the Cure. They help. They're a breast cancer initiative for Black women. And so love what they're doing. Women Empowered, you know, the George Washington University Hospital Women's Board. I'm just proud to be able to work alongside them. Healthy Churches, the Balm in Gilead, what they're doing to attack health disparities in our communities. And so that's my passion, you know. And I do want to say quickly too, you mentioned certifications, and it's misused now. I just want to share that because there are a lot of you can be a certified this and certified that in a matter of 30 minutes. And so just be careful with that. You know, I actually have a certification. I'm a part of the National Association of Nonprofit Organizations and Executives. And so they believe that nonprofits should operate and have the capacity, the funding, the capital, like for profits. And so I did get my certification as a nonprofit consultant from them. But just be careful with that. But yeah, so that's what I'm really proud of, and that I have been consistent in being true to who I am. And I always get lectures. I have mentors, and they'll be like, Tanya, you should be making this, you should be doing this. And I'm like, it'll come. But I definitely have to go with projects I believe in. I have to. So
well, I'm super excited. You said you follow your gut, and I know that's the leading of the Holy Spirit. You said the times I said yes when my gut has said no were not good, and I know we get that leading of the Holy Spirit. Like, no, but you just like, oh yeah, but this is a good idea. But was it a God idea?
Right.
No. So
Right. And during I think it was sound minds, because I heard my sister told me that gut is an acronym for her that she taught me that I love, which is God's undeniable truth.
wow.
And I was like, yes,
good.
I love that.
Gut is God's undeniable truth. Love that. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, tell us how we can get in touch with you. If someone is interested in connecting with you, what do they need to do?
Just, you can email me, Tanya at Skyrocket Communications with an S. There is a difference, you all, .com. And then also you can go on Instagram, go to our website, which you see up right now. There is a form you can click and fill out, and it'll come to us, and we'll get in touch with you. So yes. And let me add, proud too, that my daughter works with me on certain projects, that like you talked about your daughter. That's very special. She's 26 and studied digital marketing, and just want her to, like to have her part of the journey and her creativity and input in that.
Oh, wow. That's something to be very proud of, because that speaks to your seed reproducing, and that's what I love. And that was God's idea too, because we can't do it by ourselves. That's for sure.
Talk about building legacy. I love that your daughter is a part of it. Absolutely.
Building legacy. Yes. So I'm super excited. I keep hearing the Skyrockets communications.com, and then also Sound Minds, which is your nonprofit. I love it. And so it's going to just be some exciting things going on. So you all need to follow Tanya Simmons Reed on all social media platforms. Log onto her website, share this video. It will definitely help someone and help you to grow and expand. So are there any last words you want to share, Tanya?
No, just keep doing what you're doing. It's going to turn. You're going to start to see things change. I think that just what you're doing is phenomenal. And this is what it's about, collaborating, connecting. None of us can achieve anything that I believe that's truly going to impact on our own. And so it's important that we continue to connect, to talk to each other, and to ask, some people think, I was at an event and they thought it was kind of, people were being more or less in your business by saying, what do you do? What do you do? How is that being in your business? Like, that's figuring out, okay, maybe I can use your services or your products, or maybe I can connect you to somebody else. But how do we know how we can help you if we don't know, what you do? So
that's a whole nother topic that I'm gonna have you come back and share, because I can say a lot about that, because that's that crab mentality, and it's like, and that's why I know that I am blessed beyond measure, because if nothing else, relationships is what matters the most, and that's a massive connection that goes beyond money.
Yes, but that's the number one reason why people buy, is because they like you. And that's likability comes from relationships.
Yes.
So absolutely.
Yes. I love it. Well, thank you so much for today. It's been so good.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. All right, you guys.
To talking to you more.
Yes, me too. Hang tight, Tanya. You guys, we will be back next Wednesday at 12 p.m. Central Standard. We're super excited that you've been here with us today. Crystal, hey girl. She popped on. I'm going to have Tanya back because I want her and Dr. Crystal Brown Lewis to collaborate. And I'm excited about that. I kind of told you about that, Tanya. So you guys share Neesha's Network, subscribe, neeshasnetwork.com. We're super excited, and we will see you next week. Have a great Wednesday. Hang tight, Tanya.
Okay.
Yeah.